this gets at the thing that like all these different platforms are somewhat different, and treating them all as the same can be problematic, which gets to the next concern of this agreement and the weirdest part of the agreement,
Right.
which is that Meta has to try to convince specifically YouTube and TikTok to put in place the same features, or not all of the same features, but most of the same features, and limits. And that is weird on almost every level.
Yeah. And not only that, right, but that £5 billion of the fine is contingent upon them doing so.
Yes, which is also just incredibly strange, because there's an element where it's like, okay, if Meta fails and cannot get them to get YouTube and TikTok to agree to this, which also includes getting them to contribute a similar amount of money to the states, then Meta doesn't have to pay the $5 billion. So Meta's in this weird position where it's like it can save $5 billion of this from this agreement if Google, YouTube, and TikTok don't agree to this.
Yeah.
But, you know, from the competitive side of it, you know that Meta wants to get them to do it because, as you pointed out, kids spend more time on YouTube and TikTok than they do on Instagram. And so if Meta can convince YouTube to put a 2-hour limit on watch time, that actually benefits them, because kids will cut off their YouTube watching at 2 hours. And what else are they going to do? I guess we'll scroll over to Instagram.
Yeah.
And so this is like, it's really, really, really weird in how it's structured.
Yeah. You know what? I read this and I thought, you know, these guys are playing checkers while everyone else plays chess. Like this is the kind of move that you have to just like hold your hands up and go, wow, that is no one would have thought that was even possible, right? Or like that this was a kind of even something that the attorney generals would be up for. And it isn't something that has been the focus of the reporting. Most of the reporting done by major outlets has been focused on this. The framing has been kind of as a success for the states, and this is a kind of success for the users because there are these limits or are these features that will be disabled at certain points. This element has been much less discussed, and I think that's why we wanted to kind of talk about it. So they're playing a very interesting game here, Meta, and they've obviously put a price on, you know, their ability to convince YouTube and TikTok to what they call is, you know, create an industry-wide solution. For child safety. It's a bit like kind of, you know, if we're going down, we're going to take you guys down with us.
Yeah. Or the alternative way of looking at it is it's regulatory capture through judicial settlement, which is, you know, a slightly different form of regulatory capture. Regulatory capture is usually because there's like a law that comes into place, but you help write the law or you help administer the law in some form or another. But in this case, it's through the settlement, and then sort of saying like, we're going to help try and pressure everybody else into this. Therefore, you know, but if you take a step back, it's basically Meta getting to write the standards for child safety across the big players of the internet. And if you don't believe that Meta has been particularly good, like what amazes me of the people celebrating this are the same people who are like, Meta is terrible and we don't trust them. And now you have handed them the pen to write the rules of how internet safety for children works across the internet. And even if you say, well, it's just limited to these biggest players, if they can convince YouTube and TikTok to go along with it, the trickle down of this is also really problematic, because now what is happening is you've blessed these specific things, the 2-hour limit, the hidden likes, the things that we don't know whether or not they actually work. But if any other platform wants to avoid getting sued in the future, the easiest thing to do is just say, well, we're doing the industry-wide standard as defined in this settlement between Meta and all of these states. And so the way to reduce liability, if you're a company, a smaller company, an upstart trying to do something different, maybe you have an idea of how to actually protect children more. That's now risky. The easiest thing, the thing to do to reduce and avoid liability is to just go with the flow, take what Meta has agreed to and say, we're just going to do that because that is the industry standard. And that really concerns me, especially when we don't know what actually works right now.